If you are an independent creator, solo filmmaker, having a battery-powered light that's good enough is key. The one that I'm using right now is the Godox ML80Bi light. Let me show you how this light is going to help me with my YouTube tucking head setup. I'm in my office where I typically record. I have a window here. There's a window behind me. I'm going to shut this a little bit because that's a little too much overkill backlight for me, for my liking right now. So it's a bit of an overcast day, and right now some clouds just went over. So you can see this is not really ideal lighting for me, and the focus might be shifting in and out. I have my light, and what I'm going to do is shine it into the right-hand corner of the room. That wall is probably, the corner part of the wall is about 8 feet from me. So let me turn this on. So this is with it off, and then this is with it on. And it's just bouncing off the corner. So you can kind of see the difference already that it's making, bouncing from there and hitting this side of my face just from bouncing on the wall. This is at 20%. So a mistake that a lot of newbies will make is they'll take the light and they'll shine it directly on their face. It's going to look overblown when I do this, but let me show you why you don't want to do that. It's very bright. I mean, it looks like a news reporter has, sort of the light on someone as they're talking. The other thing I could do is bounce this light. If I aim behind me, let me just turn this around, you'll see the difference that makes. Now it really lights up the back because there's a glass, or because of the photograph that's back there. It's reflecting a little bit too much for my liking. That's a little too washed out, although it does make me stand out more. So if I did the other corner, that would sort of equalize my face a little bit. Now because there's light coming from this window, it's a little bit more of a neutral look. It works. It's not, I mean, it's for a talking head for YouTube. It's not like I'm trying to do anything super contrasty or cinematic, but so what do you get with this particular kit that comes with its own carrying case? So that's number one. You get the light body itself. There's a protective cover, a zoom lens reflector that's basically going to dial in the intensity of the light that's coming from that, a charging cord, a head stock holder that you can put onto C-stands or any type of stand, and this battery that charges with USB-C. It has CCT mode, where you can dial in the temperature from 2800 Kelvin to 6500 Kelvin. It also has FX modes like flash, lightning, cloudy, broken bulb, TV, candle, fire, firework, explosion, and welding. So plenty of options to use. I'm mainly just using this as a light to light myself, to light a subject, to light a scene. There's an app that you can use with it if you want to dial in the controls. For me, it's easy enough. I'm just dialing in the temperature and intensity, but I could see if you were doing an interview and you needed to maybe change that intensity from time to time, especially if you're matching it with outdoor light. It has a built-in fan that has off, auto, high, or low. I leave it on auto. When you first turn it on, you'll hear it kick up a little bit. So that is something to consider, especially if you're recording with microphones. In the time that I've had this, I can tell already how useful it is to have. It certainly is plenty bright for your applications. What are some of the drawbacks of it? Well, if you've used Godox before, they have a proprietary mount system. With the other lights that I have, I'm using Bowen's mount. So I have all these soft boxes, all these diffusions and snoots that are Bowen's mount. They won't work directly on this, but there is an adapter for less than $20 that will allow you to adapt the Bowen's to the Godox mount. Something to keep in mind with this unit, because of how small it is, I would be careful of using a really heavy softbox with it because of the weight. If you have this secured onto a C-stand and it's facing down, you're probably fine. Where I would be concerned is having it on an angle, pulling the weight of the light. I don't know. It's something that I've seen mentioned on their website and their reviews, to be careful with the size of the softbox that you're using with this particular light. Because it's so small, you just want to be aware of that it doesn't, clip off. I tend to use natural lighting as much as I can. I think it looks good. I'm not always chasing that cinematic look, although on a production, I certainly will take the time to light something properly and look better than average. When I'm doing interviews indoors, I usually have access to AC outlets, plugs to plug in my Amaran lights and umbrellas and reflectors, and they are great tools to have. Every once in a while, I might be in a situation where if I'm doing a story on an abandoned building or a renovated building, we don't always have access to electricity, or from shooting outdoors, it's nice to have something that is battery functioning, that's not LED or super small. Nothing against LEDs, they work great. I use them quite a lot, but nonetheless, this light from Godox is very handy because it doesn't need any plugs. I know there are several other options from Godox, and in particular with the small portable lights. If you're using Godox, if you're using this light, what do you like about it? Let me know. Is there anything about this that we didn't discuss that you've discovered? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching.